rainy winter in Cambridge is a very long time. Warren picks up mandolin, he starts playing these Americana bluegrass tunes over and over again, and it's like this manic soundtrack to our mounting insanity. And eventually we explode. It takes about 6 months of that relentless rain, and we explode, and it's over. And all we see is how we love the river. We see that we're non-viable and unfeasible, which, by the way, Warren can spell those words by then. And we both leave. We both decide we're leaving, and we pack up everything we have, each of us just what we can carry. We end up leaving Cambridge. We end up in a bus terminal in London, clutching each other. And I'm waiting for Warren to convince me, because he can always convince me that we can do the impossible. But it's like the lights go out in his eyes. And I just disappear into London, and he just disappears, and the silence is total. A graduate student of mine recently said to me, the emotional dimension is the least interesting part of the human experience. And I know scientists are odd, but I agree. It was like, yeah, I know what you mean. And so it's difficult for me to recount how dark those nights were, even in my worst moments.